Hi, and welcome to another edition of Mike Finds Things, where I go out and find cool records out in the wild at usually estate sales, sometimes yard sales, and thrift stores. This time I do have some thrift store records that I'll get later on in the video. I got a lot of stuff I found at estate sales over this past weekend. Not a lot, but we got a pretty good amount of stuff. Also, this weekend I picked up a lot of 45s, and it's a lot of 45s, like in the thousands that I bought off a guy. And I started going through those, and I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to make that into a video or several videos without just going to a lot of like fluff that nobody cares about. There's good stuff mixed in there. I've already found a lot of great records in there. But we're going to get to that in a future video. Right now, we're concentrating on this video. We're going to go into the estate sales, like I said, and then to the thrift store stuff. So yesterday I did go to a sale after the car show. I went to a car show in Burbank and filmed that. I'm actually a couple weeks ahead of myself on the records videos. So if you watch my other channel, which is my name, Mike Frankovich, you know I do car shows. This was after the Burbank Road King show. I went to an estate sale because they had car stuff, and car guys always have good records, or usually do. So this was out in Reseda. I only found one record. It was the second day of the sale, so it's probably been picked over. And I found in one of those record albums that had the wrong records, whatever it said on the front was not what was in there. The only one I found was a really minty copy of Harry Belafonte Banana Boat on RCA Victor from 1956. Starro on the B-side, and this is like a absolutely amazing condition copy. Played it yesterday. It plays wonderfully. This is a good example of a record that on a 45, this is like a nothing record. Nobody cares. You find them all the time. On 78, you really don't. In fact, it's maybe my first copy I found on 78. I got to go look. And Discogs sell comps about $20, which is kind of what I guessed what it would be worth. I only found one copy that sold on Discogs. Since it's a 56 record, they probably pressed more 45s than 78s on that one. So definitely a cool find. Something that, like I always say, some of the more common songs that are really common on 45 on 78, especially when you get to like the late 50s, are somewhat desirable in 78 for jukeboxes. That would definitely be one of those. And I did find a lot of 45s here, and I did get a couple LPs, and then this is a different sale. This is a sale I went to after the show on Saturday, which was at Santa Anita Racetrack. I went to a sale in Arcadia, and they had car stuff. So I figured they might have good stuff. They had a really nice 57 Chevy and a GTO for sale. Way out of my price range, but what's funny is I don't think they even cared about the records. It was later in the day, so if any like big name stuff that no, you know, any of the LP stuff was probably already gone. They had these actually outside, but it was an overcast day as it is today, so I don't think anything was damaged. But they're outside, but they were next to the house, so they probably did get a little shade. And I don't think this estate sale company knew not to put the records outside. First one I found is Ted Heath and his music, Jungle Drums. This one's low of 1, mid of 5, high of 8, and it's a Space Age Exotica 45. Not a high value. People do collect that Exotica stuff. It sounds great, especially like if you like tiki stuff and you have a jukebox. It's a great budget record for that purpose. Next one, I've got a surf record. This one doesn't have a high value. It's got one scratch in it, but it played fine. Pretty well-known surf song that winds up on a lot of compilation from '63. It's the Astronauts with Baja on RCA Victor. I said it has one scratch, but I said it doesn't really affect the playability, and Cuck is the B-side. And usually I find Astronauts LPs. I find those every once in a while. Not so much the 45s. But that'll probably go in my collection of surf 45s. Here's one from '62. This is a rock record. This one's low of $1, mid of 15, high of $30 on Discogs. This one has a few scratches. I think I played fine. Who's Sitting in My Chair by AC Ducey. Not AC/DC, AC Ducey. You can read it right there. And Queen of the Nile is the B-side on that one on a Warner Brothers 45. So that one has a little bit of a value to it. Here's a local record that I like to pick up whenever I find it. It does have some value. Unfortunately, they drew some magic marker on the front. I guess maybe to block out somebody's name that used to own the record. From '65, it is the Midnighters. And let's take a trip down Whittier Boulevard on the Chattahoochee label. This one's a low 4, mid of 23, and a high of 38 of this pressing. If you look on Midnighters records on this label, they'll have different colors for the labels on the different ones. And Evil Love. It has a few scratches. I did play the Whittier Boulevard side, which, by the way, is very hard to find on iTunes. I remember like 6 months ago, I was like, oh, I just want to hear that song. And I asked for it on Siri, and it couldn't find it. I had to actually type it in. And then I had to kind of look for it on iTunes. But it is on there. The Midnighters was the B-side. Oh, Evil Love. So Garage Rock, East LA Garage Rock from '65. Like I said, I always pick those up. They do, Midnighters 45s do pop up fairly regularly locally since they're a local band. This one does have some paint. I played it. It played fine. I got to see if I can get the paint off of it. This one, I cannot find this version. It's a '59 Rockabilly 45. The promo goes for a low of 4, mid of 19, high of 20. And I can't find anybody that has the non-promo, which is what this is. Just has some stuff on it. I got to try to get it off. The Comic Book Hop by Jerry Norrell on Brunswick. Like I said, I can't find anybody else that has the non-promo. And the Freshman is the B-side. Yeah, I'm going to have to try it. In fact, it looks like it's got like a really bad, like somebody got ketchup on it or something. So unfortunately, I got to see if I can clean that one up. Still an interesting record. Another one we find locally, it is a '66 soul record on Audio Arts. The Incredibles. The B-side is Crying Heat and is kind of has a northern beat. Low of $1, mid of 8, high of 50 on this one. I'll Make It Easy is the A-side. And I found other Incredibles 45s there were definitely northern soul. Crying Heart. It has some wear. I did play it. I think it played fine. But always cool to find a '66 soul record. Here's one called with the soul in the title, but it's not a soul record. But it's a surf record. This is a '63 issue on Park Avenue Records. I believe I have another copy of this. Low of 3, mid of 650, high of 25. It is Johnny Fortune with Soul Surfer. I believe I've found other copies of this before. And Midnight Surf. To go double check my surf box on Park Avenue. It's in pretty good shape. Probably needs a little bit of cleaning, but look, it's still shiny. So, nice little label surf record. As I always mention, I'm in Southern California. I do find a lot of surf records locally. Here's one we found before. I know it's been on the channel before. It's still a great record. Low of $1.50, mid of 5, high of 19. It is Travis Womack with Scratchy on RR Records. And this one's a good one. This one's like a nice instrumental guitar. And I think, if I remember right, it was like the first time they used backwards loop on a record. Like where all of a sudden the music starts playing backwards. In Firefly, the B-side. And it's killer guitar on this one. I believe I found it when I found all those surf records like a year ago that I did a video. Before I stopped doing videos for a while. I found a bunch of surf records at a local sale, like a lot of surf records, including stuff you never see. There's another one. There's another surf record from '63. 385 is the low, mid of 23.59, a high of 50. Wax 'Em Down by the Avantis on Chancellor. So with a name like Wax 'Em Down, I was willing to take a chance because, that's going to be, especially since it's Gypsy Surfers, the other side. So you knew that was going to be a surf record. So I don't believe I even had a copy of that. I don't believe I did. 56 Jump Blues. This one is a promo version. I found one guy asking $76 for the promo version on Discogs. The non-promo version goes for low 14, mid of 22.50, high of 50. Rock Junction by Freddie Mitchell and his Rockers on an ABC Paramount promo. So it's a rock and roll jump blues. I played it. It's a lot of fun. Seaweed is the B-side on that one. So we do find promos here, and since I'm in LA, obviously a lot of the record industry is here. They do pop up. Here's one. Well, this one's not really worth anything. I've got other copies of this. This one was pretty good. I thought maybe someone would want it. It's probably like a buck record. Down at Papa Joe's by the Dixie Bells. This is one that like looks better than it is. Sound 7 Stage Records. So it's like it's rock. Sounds so this one obviously looks better than it is, but it was a good copy of it, so I grabbed it because they weren't terribly expensive. This is one everybody knows what it is. It's a '63 Motown Tamo soul record. Smokey and the Miracles, Mickey's Monkey, but the wax is really good, so it's like a good plain copy. And whatever makes you happy. I didn't write down a value because there's probably a billion different pressings of that, as it was a big hit. Here's one that was used in the movie Pulp Fiction at the end of the movie. And it's actually in really nice shape. I did play it yesterday. It is a low of 6, mid of 37, high of 85. It's a '63 surf record on Delphi. Lively Ones was Surf Rider. That one also pops up a lot on like surf compilations as well. And Surfer's Lament. So another great SoCal surf record. That one's definitely going in the surf box. I can't remember I think I had a copy of that. I'm not sure. I have to double check. Here's another one that's a hit. I didn't write down a value from '64. We all know what this is. This is the Rolling Stones with Time Is on My Side. It was a really nice play copy, and Congratulations is the other side on that. Again, probably like a $5 or $10 record. Nothing insane. Here's one. I like this song, so every time I find it in good shape, I pick it up for some reason. It's a garage classic from 1965, low of 79 cents, mid of 450, high of 19, so definitely a garage record that with not a crazy value, and it's one everybody knows. She's About a Mover, the Sir Douglas Quintet on Tribe. There's a bunch of label variations on this one. This is one of the earlier ones, and We'll Take Our Last Walk Tonight as the B-side. Like I said, that's a great one. I've got a reissue, like a much later one with like Mendocino as the B-side in one of my jukeboxes. But always find a fine original copy of that. Like I said, I know it was a hit, but it's a great garage song anyway. Another one was a pretty good hit. This one's low of a buck, mid of 7, high of 15, '66 soul record on Checker. And we have a Checker 78 coming up in the video and a few from the same sale. Just to give you a little preview. Another one where he drew like a black thing across it for probably to block out somebody's name. Searching for My Love, Bobby Moore. That's a great song. It was a hit. And Hey Mr. DJ is the B-side on that one. So I just love that song, so I'll pick it up. Another one, great song. Pretty big hit on Stax. Eddie Floyd, Knock on Wood. And the guy wrote his name on it twice. The one everybody knows from 1966. We did find a bunch of that Stax stuff in that, I think it was the last video when I did the lot of records. I picked up 8 minutes from here and got to make a comeback. So I have no idea how I'm going to do that other record lot I bought there. I got giant boxes. Like, it filled the back of my truck. That's how many records I got. I did not spend a lot. I think I got a good deal. Actually, I know I did. I've already found some amazing stuff in there. Here's one that was really minty, and it was it's an artist it's one you don't find as much. '68 soul record, low of a 250, mid of 950, high of 20. Lowrider guys like eat this one up. They love this song. Lovey Dovey Kind of Lovin' by Brenton Wood. Lowrider guys love Brenton Wood, and Two-Time Losers, the B-side on that one. So like a great lowrider soul oldie, and the record is really nice on this one. So I'm guessing that's towards the higher end of that. And what label was that? It's on a double shot label. All right, now we're going to get into the 78s I found at this sale. And this is like, keep in mind, this is like, I didn't get there till like 1 in the afternoon. This sale had been going on a while, so I know nobody went through these 78s or these would have gotten pulled. And we're going to roll right into this one. This one plays fine. It's got a little bit of wear, but it plays fine. I played both sides. 1955, early rock and roll R&B classic. Bo Diddley with Bo Diddley. This one's actually a grail for me. I did not have this on 78 on Checker, and I'm a man. There you go. And both sides played just fine. I love Bo Diddley. So that was a killer find for me. That's one of those I've always wanted to find on 78. And let me see here. And just because we have a Checker record, we need to have a chess record. So now we got a chess record, and you can imagine I found this one. It's a little bit of scratching. It plays fine. Oh, sorry, the Bo Diddley, low of 15. This is Discogs 78 pricing, so I will give that disclaimer. Low of 15, mid of 25, high of 55 on the Bo Diddley. That's probably somewhere in the middle there. This one is a 1955 rock and roller Chuck Berry 30 days on chess. This one is low of 451, mid of 18, high of 45. Not one you usually find by Chuck Berry. Together is the B-side. So let me put an address label there. I have to see if I can get some lighter fluid. Sometimes we'll take that off without messing things up. So I have to see if I can do that. I also have Maybelline. Not from this. This is from before. I think I got Maybelline on chess. It came in a record lot a while back, a couple years ago. On chess, plays fine. And obviously a Chuck Berry classic. And as I always say, my first concert I went to was Chuck Berry and Jerry Lee Lewis back in the 80s, though. And it wasn't like in the 50s, about that old. Another R&B classic from the same sale on 78, 1956. I didn't realize this was available on 78, so kind of a cool find. Another one is you find on 45 occasionally, not on 78. Low of 5, mid of 24, high of 45 on this one, on Discogs 78 pricing. Ain't Got No Home, Clarence Frogman Henry on Argo. That one plays wonderfully as well. B-side is Troubles, Troubles. That one's a really, I'd say, way above average 78 condition. Some light scratching. And the last 78 I got this sale, and I got a couple LPs I got that sale. Then we'll go to the next sale. Soldier Boy by the Four Fellows on Glory. It's a doo-wop. Only one sold comp on Discogs. So who knows what condition it was in, or if the guy was just shooting for a price, then because there was no other ones on there. Take Me Back Baby on this side. It's a doo-wop from 55. It says there's Soldier Boy. I think I said that. On Glory. So I always like to find a cool doo-wop 78. All right, we're going to go into two LPs I got there. The first one, this one's also a nice one, very popular locally, especially among the lowrider crowd. 1970 Soul Jazz. This I think I even found the pressing. It's a 338 is the low, 16 mid, high of 52. This one is Viva Torado by El Chicano LP. And let's see the other side. And the cardboard sleeve is actually good. It's on cap. I think the early pressing was on cap, so it's the early pressing. I think the later ones were like MCA or something. And the record's actually really nice on this one. So definitely a good one for the lowrider crowd. And if you like lowrider type oldies, check out my AI channel I made for AI songs I made that are like cruising oldies and lowrider oldies, which is Record Hop. And I've got another one called Vinyl Interior, which is comedy type records that are about cars. But I do different genres on that one. In fact, the lowrider one seems to be getting the most traction right now. Here's a weird one. It's more of a local thing, and I can imagine being able to sell it locally as like a Chevrolet collectible. Courtesy of Mejian Chevrolet on Atlantic Boulevard in East LA. It's a mariachi record. So, and it's actually got the name. I guess if you test drove a car, you got a free record. So, and it's a, let me see if I can pull the record out. It's from 1968 is when the salesman gave this to somebody. I actually own a 69 Chevy Impala myself. And there you go. There's the label. It is Mariachi Juvenil de Michoacan. And it's obviously, I think they probably brought it home and never played it. But I guess the dealership was giving out mariachi records with their own branding on there. I could see a lot of lowrider guys collect dealership memorabilia. I don't have a value on this. This one is not on Discogs. I could see selling that for 15, $20 to a lowrider guy, especially since it's an East LA dealership. So that actually helps it. I could see selling that because it's. I can't imagine there's too many copies of those floating around. Let's see. We're gonna roll into another estate sale. This was on Friday. There were two estate sales right by me that had records. They were like 5 or 10 minutes apart. They both had pictures of the records. I went to the one that had pictures that they had 45s. The other one had LPs. They just had individual pictures of some of the LPs. So I went to the one with the 45s. And I should have gone to the other one because I guess there was a bunch of killer LPs because I wound up going there afterwards and everything good had been taken already. So this is the one I went to. I found from 65. You know them, you love them. It's the Beatles with Yesterday on a 70s Capitol label, so not an original press. It naturally is the B-side. I didn't look up the value of this pressing. I'm guessing it's a $5 or $10 record. Great one for a jukebox because everyone knows Yesterday by the Beatles. And from 1968, one that's an artist you know, one of their lesser-known records. It's a soul record on Motown Tamla. Low 4, mid of 11, high of 1154. Unfortunately, it does have a drill for the return, like it didn't sell. Stevie Wonder, You Met Your Match. This one plays wonderfully. It's like a really nice copy. Great song. And then we got, and he's doing a version of My Girl on the other side. So, a cool Motown Tamla, Stevie. Not one of the bigger hits you find all the time by Stevie. We got more Motown because you wanted more Motown. This one's the 1965 textured sleeve version in mono. And according to Discogs, low of 2, mid of 950, high of 20. The Supremes, we remember Sam Cooke. So it's the Supremes doing Sam Cooke hits. You Send Me, Cupid, Chain Gang, Bring On Home to Me, Only 16, Having a Party, Shake, Wonderful World, Change Is Gonna Come, Ain't That Good News. So, good. A bunch of Sam Cooke. Of course, we found a bunch of Sam Cooke 45s, I believe it was in the record lot last week. And we found nice copies, too. This one's actually pretty clean. Some, like, light scratching. They didn't have a inner sleeve on this one. I put an inner sleeve on it. I would say just go online. If you collect LP, if you collect records in general, just order a bunch of sleeves. The 78 ones are really expensive for some reason, but I like to have them around just because, you know, obviously I keep finding really good 78s. Like that Bo Diddley and that Chuck Berry and Ain't Got a Home from the Frogman. Here's one, I Hear a Symphony. This one's a stereo version from 66. It's got cellophane. It's not sealed, though. The Supremes. So we all know, we all know these. I Hear a Symphony is the big hit on this one. Lover's Concerto, which actually wasn't really their song originally, but oh well. But yeah, everyone loves the Supremes. I didn't write a value down on that one because there's a billion pressings of this one, and we'd be here all day looking for that. I'm guessing it's probably like a $10 or $15 record. Record had some like light scratching, nothing. Probably needs a good cleaning, actually, but it's not terrible. Something somebody would definitely love to have, especially someone who's getting into records and loves Motown would be like the perfect record for them. Obviously, I've got all the Supremes hits on LP. Sorry, on 45. We got here's one from 75. I've never run across this on vinyl. Not the greatest copy, but it's a band everybody hopefully knows, I would assume. It's Rush, Fly By Night, and the copy's not the greatest. The jacket's got a little bit of wear on it. I did put it in the record. Does have some light scratching. I'm not going to try to pull it out. So it has a low of 12, mid of 32, high of 75. This is towards, I would say, lower end. It's probably a $15, $20 record in the condition it's in. It is not the greatest. So like I said, I went to that other sale, and one of my friends actually buys mainly LPs to resell. He cleaned up. A couple other guys cleaned up, and then I didn't find anything else. They had like a whole bunch of Ferrante and Thetcher, which if you don't know, they're completely worthless. They had like every Ferrante and Thetcher album I think that was ever produced, which is insane. And they were all mint, but nobody will ever want them. But that same company, that's the same company that I should have known better, because they're the ones that I found the Northern Soul record that I walked right into and didn't expect to find. You know, this thing called Love, Johnny Wyatt. I bought that from the same company at a different sale, and I bought all those 78s, including that Elvis one that they broke. But I did go to one of their sales the week prior, and I only found one record, unfortunately. It's a Bill Haley and the Comets Golden Hits on MCA, 2 LP set. This one is the version without the gatefold. I guess they made a version with a gatefold. This is a later version. Unfortunately, it is a stereo, so all the songs are remixed into stereo. I would much rather have a mono version. I don't have a value on this. I'm guessing it's like a $10, $15 set. It's nothing crazy. So now we're going to go into the thrift store stuff. Like I said, I've been striking out big time. I know there's these guys on YouTube. They go to thrift stores. I don't know where they're going to these thrift stores and finding good stuff, but locally that stuff's picked over. So I made a few trips. There's this one thrift store I found stuff years ago, and I kept finding stuff. I went back there. I go there with my daughter a lot because we look for clothing and other stuff there, and it's not terribly far from us. So one trip I found this. I'll show you the first two. This was from '85. John Cougar, American Fool. It's got cellophane, but it is not sealed. This one's got like Hurt So Good, Jack and Diane. You know, are probably the big hits on this one. It's actually it's in really nice condition. Again, probably like a $15 record. Another one, it's sealed. Unfortunately, has a cutout on the side for return, but it is a sealed copy. Al Stewart, Time Passages, for all the yacht rock fans, from '78. Unfortunately, they cut the corner off because it was a return, but it was never opened. Still has the hype sticker on it. Don't know how to value that one because it's sealed, but they cut the corner off. So who knows if anybody knows how I should value that one, let me know, because I mean, I think the fact that it's cut in the corner kind of like negates the fact that it's sealed. So I went back to the same store, I don't know, like a week later. And this was interesting because I'm there, and then while I'm there, they start putting out more records, which is when you want to be at the thrift stores, when they put out records, especially when it's good stuff. This was out before they started putting stuff out. It is Synthesis by the Crying Shames, which I guess is their last album from 1968. It is a psych record. I guess this is like the one that didn't sell, so it's probably the hardest one to find. Low of 3, mid of 8, high of 32 on Discogs on this one. And I think this store, all their LPs are $1, unless sometimes they mark them higher if it's somebody they know, you know, Beatles or whatever. I don't think I've ever run across a Beatles in there that was anything decent, like condition wise. Another one I grabbed, this is a Ranchera Mariachi record. Yeah, why not? Most of you guys will know who this is. I found one guy. This is a U.S. pressing, which I guess they didn't make a lot of U.S. pressings of this. Most of them are from Mexico. It is somebody's asking $70 for this on Discogs. The jacket's not that great. The record's pretty good. Actually, I did play it. It is Vicente Fernandez, De Un Rancho a Otro, from 1985. Those who don't know, he's like the Mexican Elvis. This dude was like he had movies and everything, and he was extremely famous. Like, he's extremely, especially in Southern California, like everybody knows who this guy is. Like, you know, even people that don't speak Spanish know who he is. So, kind of cool to find that. Especially the record's in really nice shape. Another one I found, a '79 disco record. Another one where I'm not going to try to figure out the pressing and whatnot, because they probably made a million of them. It is your favorite Swedish supergroup. What other clue do you need? It's ABBA. With Voulez-vous. There you go. All right, we got disco. We go from like early rock and roll in '78 to disco. Why not? Here's another. This is still the thrift store. Can't remember if that was before you guys start putting. This is interesting. 1970 blue vinyl promo psychedelic gospel record. And it originally came with a poster, which is missing. Check out the blue vinyl. This one's on SSS International Records, Soul Label, white label promo. This one is US Apple Core. Kind of a weird one. Like I said, this one sells for a low of 5, mid of 15, high of $55. Psychedelic Gospel. Who'd have thought? There you go. Found that at a thrift store. 1985 Rockabilly record. No, it's not the Stray Cats. It is the Blasters. This one sells for a low of 5, mid of 9, high of 25. I do find Blasters records every once in a while. And a friend of mine actually knows a couple of the members, and he was going to get like one of my Blasters LPs signed. I think he even plays with one of them sometimes. And like plays music with them. Okay, don't get dirty on me. Here's a weird one. Now this is one of the ones they just put out. We got a few records that are similar to this ish. This one is a Taiwanese orange vinyl from 1966. It is blocked on Discogs. You cannot sell these. And every one of these, I got a few of these Taiwan bootlegs. They are all wanted on Discogs. Like the wants are really high, but you cannot sell them on Disc. I think there's one that I think you can still. They haven't caught yet. Orange vinyl. We got Jimmy and Wes, Jimmy Smith and Wes Montgomery, the dynamic duo, and it is a. Like I said, let me show you that label again. It is a Taiwanese. It's called Sunshine Record. Is the record label. Taiwanese bootleg. And we got a couple. We got 3 more, I think, coming up that are bootlegs from other genres. From 1975, this was the one they put out, and I grabbed it because it was in good condition. Didn't try to look up the pressing because there's a billion of them. Jefferson Starship with a red octopus. I would say a lot of you probably have this one in your collection already because it does come up. There's this was no Jefferson Starship, Jefferson Airplane, Jefferson Starship, and Starship. We had that surrealistic pillow in the record lot a few weeks ago as well. Mono pressing. Here we got it from 1961. We got an Exotica record. I thought I looked at the values, but I guess I didn't write it down. Polynesian percussion, George Cates. I like to grab these cool like tiki records and Exotica stuff. It's not one of the, usually you find like Les Baxter and Martin Denny, so it's something a little bit different on Dot. It says Lawrence Welk Presents. That's a bad sign. I don't think I've played it yet, but it's minty and it is Exotica. Anytime you put Lawrence Welk's name on a record, I think the value goes down automatically. Another one, not a high value. Probably certain parts of the country, you guys are probably screaming. I find those all the time. It's country. It's from 67, low of $1, mid of 5, high of 10. But it was a mint copy with most of the cellophane, with all the cellophane intact. 10 Nights in a Bar Room, Johnny Bond. Check out that. Just for the cover picture alone, it's worth $1 to me. And there you go. And it's in really, really good condition. Like he's got his guitar, he's got like a slot machine and like a wagon wheel. So, and of course it's on Star Day, naturally. But it's really minty, so I grabbed it. All right, we're gonna go into those Taiwanese bootlegs. We got 2 of the same artists. Yep, they're in a row. This one's blocked on. One of them's not blocked on Discogs. 67 on red vinyl. We got the Taiwanese pressing of Shotgun, Junior Walker, and the All Stars. And these all come with this like weird like cellophane. It's actually part of the sleeve, so you can't. I don't think you can even take it off. And it is the Shotgun album on colored vinyl, pink, volume 2. Kind of neat. It's got a weird little funky, like the vinyl had like a weird little design in it from, I think by accident, but it's there. What am I doing? Okay, that's the wrong one there. All right. Another Junior Walker from Taiwan that's blocked for sale on Discogs. This one's Junior Walker and the All Stars Live. I think all these had like a lot of wants on them, which of course they can't buy it on Discogs. But Junior Walker, this one's on First Record, and it is like a kind of orangey red colored vinyl. Kind of neat to find. So I'll grab Junior Walker for $1, even if it's a bootleg. I don't care. It's weird. It's a great conversation piece, especially with the colored vinyl. And I did find I would say I buy radio station records. This one is sold from 74, low of $1, mid of 3, high of 20, from Philadelphia. It is sweet as candy, WFIL 56 on your AM dial. There you go. So it's a Philadelphia radio station record. So it has such hits as, it's got Seasons in the Suns by Terry Jacks, Rock Your Baby, George McCrae, Beach Baby, First Class, Love Won't Let Me Wait, Major Harris, I Am Woman, Helen Reddy, Looking for Love by Bobby Womack, Tony Orlando, Don, what else is good on here? Gladys Knight, Midnight Train to Georgia, The Joker, Steve Miller, Sha Na Na, Make Me Happy, Al Green, The Streak by Ray Stevens. There you go. You can't have a 70s party without some streaking. Just don't try that. Mighty Love, The Spinners. So on this one, was this Compressed Groove? It looks like Compressed Groove to me because they got a ton of songs. Usually when they have a ton of songs, this record was done by United Artists, so maybe not. Usually like your K-Tels have that compressed groove and they don't sound that good. But a WFIL radio station record. And we're going to go back to the Taiwanese boot. We got the last Taiwanese bootleg of the video. And this one has not been blocked on Discogs, which probably will if somebody sees this. There's a red vinyl version. I do not have that version. I cannot find the one that's regular vinyl. It is Vanilla Fudge. And there you go. So this one is, I do have a U.S. version of this. This one's from 68. This one is on, what's the name of the record? I can't remember the name of the damn record label. Lyco. It's on Lyco. And then their logo actually looks like the Paramount Pictures. But it's on black vinyl. The red version has sold for $20 on Discogs before. But a Taiwanese bootleg of Vanilla Fudge. Never thought you'd see that on this channel, but I never thought that even existed. But here we go. We got one that the record album cover looks better than the album. It is a folk record from 59, and it's a 59 repress of a 55 LP, which usually is not a good sign. Then that one had different art, and they made it look like a cool, Exotica album cover, but it's a folk record. Low of 3, mid of 6, high of 20. I think the cover's cool, though. Sin Songs, Pro Con, Ed McCurdy. And so I really thought it was going to be like an Exotica record. I mean, come on, that's a cool album cover. And it's a folk record. It's kind of like those Christian records that look like psychedelic records from the 60s. You look at it, you're like, oh, this is going to be cool. And you look it up, and it's like, oh, never mind. From 83, we're going to the 80s. 80s stuff is getting hot. I grew up in the 80s myself. This is one I have multiple copies of, but I grabbed it anyway because it was $1. And I have actually seen them live. I will admit that. Color by Numbers Culture Club with Boy George. My ex-wife was a massive Boy George Culture Club fan, so yes, I did see them live. It has Karma Chameleon, It's a Miracle, Black Money, what's the other hit on here? Church of the Poison Mine, stuff like that. Oh, Miss Me Blind's on that one too. It's like a mint copy of Color by Numbers. See, it's minty. I've got several copies. I started buying records in the 80s, and a lot of that stuff then was just getting donated to thrift stores, and nobody wanted it. And so I have probably multiple copies from back then. From 73, one, it was $1. I had to grab it. Low of 89 cents, mid of 3, high of 13. It is, unfortunately, remastered songs into stereo. The Big Bopper Chantilly Lace, but I do collect album covers with jukeboxes on them, so had to buy it. I probably would have bought it anyway, but hello, baby, this is the Big Bopper speaking. Of course, fortunately died in 1959, the day that music died with the Richie Valens and Buddy Holly in that plane crash in Iowa. We can still listen to his music, and it was originally $1.99, so it was a value record. And this thing's minty. It's on Pickwick with arrangement from Mercury, so it's the original songs. Unfortunately, That was in the era where they were remastering everything in stereo and to mixed results. I'd rather listen to the original monos. In fact, later on, they started just releasing everything in the original monos when they realized people were kind of sick of the stereo remixes, and they were playing those on the oldie stations for a while. The other one, this was a UK pressing US music, 1975 compilation, low of 6, mid of 15, high of 29 on Discogs. Phil Spector, Wall of Sound, Volume 3, The Crystals Sing Their Greatest Hits. So we got Phil Spector, Wall of Sound music on an LP from 75. Another great one, of course. I love Wall of Sound stuff. Ronettes, Crystals, all that good stuff. And it's actually worth a few bucks. Nice. They didn't. I got to put an inner sleeve on that one, but the wax is amazing. Another one's one of those where they probably took it out, threw away the inner sleeve, and played it once and put it back. Here's one that is sealed. This is our last record of the video. I'm a big Dodger fan, but I picked this one up anyway. It is sealed. It was at the thrift store for $1. 1984 National League Champions, A Sounds of Success music for a winning season. The San Diego Padres 76 KFMB Collector's Edition record. I think I looked this up. These go for like 15, 20 bucks. I don't know what it would go for sealed. Obviously, people collect, probably more down in San Diego, collect Padres stuff. But this is more of a baseball collectible than it is a record collectible, but definitely worth picking up. Obviously, it's from 84 because it says 84 right on it. All right, so that's what I got for you this week on Mike Finds Things. Hopefully, I'll be going through some of those records I got in that big lot. Of course, now my neighbor's firing up his truck. Fortunately, we didn't have any gardening today or construction, so I'll take that. Be sure you like the video. Be sure you subscribe. Let me know what you think of some of these records. Make sure you are subscribed because we need more subscribers. I'm trying to get this to the point where it's over 1,000 subscribers. I think I'm about like 815 right now as I'm making this video, which will be higher by the time this posts. Check out my other channels, which are, my name, Mike Frankovich, which is my car channel, my area music channels, Vinyl Interior, and Record Hop. And until next time, I'll be seeing you.